In this lesson, I'm gonna show you how to add a nice, simple, minimal footer to your page. So let's get started. First, what we need is we want to do 3 little icons on the bottom of the page. One that links to GitHub, one that links to our email, and one that links to our Facebook. So, great page for icons is Font Awesome. So let's check it out. Here you can find all sorts of icons, from Snapchat to battery and even a bomb or a beer or a coffee. So what we are looking for is a GitHub. So let's check it out. Where can we find it? GitHub. Okay, we can speed this up with Control F and we search for GitHub. And we can open it in a new tab. The next thing is envelope. We will choose this one. And the third we set Facebook. Okay, so let's see how this looks like. Okay, so this icon is actually a Font Awesome. And we have to add this part to our HTML in order to display it. And then we can modify it, we can make the size different and change the color and everything else that we can do with fonts. So let's check our HTML. No, one thing first, we have to add the font link so that our app will be able to recognize this font. So if you remember, we already prepared the array for the links for the font. So we just add a new one, don't forget the comma here. And we create a new variable with the element that we will then append to the DOM. So we append this to the head, and now we're ready to use our Font Awesome. So we have to first create a footer component. So let's see what we prepared here. We can paste it into the page. It doesn't matter where exactly it is, because the order where it appears on the page is defined here, where we call the functions. Okay, so we have a footer component. Footer component has a function. It's a footer component function where we have a CSS variable and our template function, and at the end, as always in the components, we create a variable element. You can call it however you want, but this is an element in the DOM that we will replace. So we just call it an element. You could call it also a node or HTML or however you feel, but I think the element is pretty good name. So var element returns what the function template returns, and we return the element for the footer component function. So when we call this function here, we actually return the element of that component. So footer component. Let's see if we did everything. Yes. So now we can go and take a closer look of our footer component function. So again, we have a CSS and we have HTML. So first let's see HTML. We have 3 links in HTML. Just to show you, Whenever you make a link, you do href equals, and then here you put your link, and we close the tag with a. So this is the link where we want people to be redirected when they click on the link, and here comes the text, click me or whatever. But in our case, we don't want to have a text, we want to have a nice little icon that we click. So therefore, if you see, we added our icon in between instead of click me. So I can delete this. And we see where this comes from. So this is from our Font Awesome. You copy this part and you put it here. But what else we did? We didn't just copy. You see that this is a little bit longer. Why? Because we added another class to the icon. So we have two classes. We have a default class that comes with Font Awesome, and we created an icon class. So this is how we create our icon. Here we follow the same recipe. We copy it from Font Awesome and added our class icon, and in the last example, again the same. So as you can see, all these icons have the same class because we want them to look the same, to have the same size, to have the same color, and to have the same padding. Padding is the space around them. We also added one more thing, hover. So when you have an icon and you want that when you go over it with the mouse that it changes something, let me show you. Let's run the code. So you can see now our three icons, and this effect is called hover. So we could say whenever you go over with the mouse, change the color to what colors do we have here? What are our options? We change it to blue, for example, just to show the example. Okay, let's see. So when we hover, it changes to blue, you see? But we want to make it a little bit more elegant, so we will just change the opacity. Opacity means the transparency. So let's check again. With the hover, we change the transparency of the icon. Okay? And there is one more thing. We are here using Flexbox. This is an awesome tool that helps us structure our elements so that they are nicely positioned inside of the app, that they are centered or stack one above each other or one next to each other. So maybe I can show you the page. Flexbox tricks. I hope this is the right one. Yes. So whenever we want to structure elements, we have to put them inside of one container. In our example, we have a container around them. We even called it a container. And inside of this container, we have three icons. So when we want to position these icons, we have to basically style the parent, so this container. And here we can also use it for children. So these are basically the icons. So let's try it out. We always have to put display flex to the container, as you can see here. And then we can start. So maybe we could try to say we want them in a column. So we want them one above each other. So let's see if we take flex direction and put it here and we say column. Let's see what happens. Yes, we get these icons nicely one above each other. But we don't want a column, we want a row. So this is the row. And we want it centered. So we say justify content center, and voila. Luckily, because the whole this page, the body of the page, we said that we want the whole text aligned to the center. We practically can leave out the whole styling for the flex with the flex box, and it will we can remove this and it will still stay the same. Yes, but if we didn't have, if we for example remove this align center for the body and we want to center those, so it doesn't come from this, it comes actually from yeah, of course it comes from our so if we remove this and we remove the center, it will all go to the left. And now we could still leave that the body alignment is not centered and just change it for our icons, and the icons would be centered again. So practically in this example we wouldn't have to use it, but it doesn't hurt and it's a nice practice because you maybe want to change them, you want to stack them one above another or something. So this is basically how you do it. You take a container and you define how the children of this container, so the icons inside of the container, will be positioned. So they will be centered and they will be in the row. So this is the cheat sheet for this. Take a look. You can try it out with different tricks. And there is also a Flexbox frog game. It's awesome. I played it. And you can basically learn the names for the elements for the CSS properties with playing this game. I think it has like 24 levels, and you position this frog like, let's see, this one we have to put to the pond, so we can use flex. And so we justify content and we say flex and the frog is there. If we say flex start, the frog is here. If we say center, like we used in our app, it will be in the middle. So you can practice Flexbox tricks with the Flexbox Froggy. And this is it. This is it for this lesson. One thing that we will do, we will save the tools. So everything that is connected to building this app, we will put in the require bin page, and then later you can restructure and make different folders wherever you want to have things. So this is for Flexbox. Yes. We want to add the froggy also. And oopsie. And let's not forget one and only font awesome for our, we can go upsala and directly open the icons, and then we put this in our bookmarks so that we go directly to the icons. Super, nice lesson. See you next time when we will do some more magic. Oh, one more thing before we go. This we aligned. Oh, the page is beautiful again. Super, see you next time.